So hello and welcome back to the channel. And we left off with the pin input pretty much done. We have wrote this simple function to validate our input, right? And it can be valid or it can be invalid. And I believe now it's time to actually handle that validation. So this, right, can return like result, the proper result for 6, or it can throw an error. So we wrap that to try catch, then we can do something about our error. Let's just log it for now. Let's see. Bump up the resolution. I mean the font size. Jesus Christ. So that's how it looks right now. How it behaves. Check the console. That up and bring that up. And now it goes to invalid pin in TSX25. So this is catched. Okay. So we could store two things now here. Actually, yeah, two things. Let's try this approach first. Let's say this is gonna be this is gonna be undefined, definitely, but this is gonna be Boolean or undefined for validation result, set validation result. Okay, and then I could create another state that we can use, and that's gonna be, let me, validation. Thank you. It's gonna be validation message and set validation message. And I'm gonna start this one with also undefined, but I will remember that this can be string or undefined. So right now you do something like that. If we know that we didn't catch an error, we know that the validation returns the proper value, meaning we provided the proper value and the validation was successful. So I would set validation result to true, and I will set the validation message to result. Here I can set the validation message to error. Mess is messed up. I can refactor this real quick by pressing F2. Okay. This is of type unknown, and that's not cool because we can tell that this should return promise of string. Is that better? Does that work for you? Yes, it does. This also, that's an any. I'm fine with that. Well, not really, but you know, has to suffice. And I have another typo here, validation message. Okay. Set, and here we are going to set the validation result to false. Okay, so in case we have an error, we decide that the validation was not successful. In case we didn't get one, this should be good, right? So let's check that. Yeah, I know that these are unused yet. Let's check this, and I will specify this and this and this. And state is false, invalid pin. Okay, if I change it to 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay, that's actually that. 6, 6, 6. Pin is valid. Okay. This is good. This is good. So with that, I could pass those below, right? So this should be validation message and validation result. Okay, now these two, we need to add them to pin input grid prop type. So this is validation message that can be string or undefined. And there's validation result that can be Boolean or null. Okay. Boolean or undefined, sorry. That's why he's screaming at me. Come on. Help me out here. Okay. Now, the one simple thing that we can do, all in a div, can just simply wrap that in a fragment. And then add a paragraph here, play the validation message, unpack it real quick. Yeah, okay, that's fine for now. Let's see. Oh, I had a really nice haircut. Yeah, looking good. 6, 6, 6, 6. Pin is valid. Good. That looks good, but we can actually, let's say, make it a little bit more sexy and make it stand out a little bit more. So let's get to pin components, and I'm gonna create validation result paragraph as a component. This is gonna be styled p. I don't really expect too much of it, but well, I would like it change its color based on the resolution. So if the pin was valid, I would like that message to be in green color. Otherwise, let's make it red. Okay. So obviously, I have to pass some kind of prop here, right? And you can do this like this: color. This is the syntax is a little strange, but it's $, curly braces, props. So this is a function that can return a string based on one of the props. I'm gonna call it is correct. Is correct. If it is, return green, otherwise return red. Now, problem is, as you can see, we are using TypeScript. So what we have to deal with is providing correct type for the props of our style component. Thankfully, this is rather easy. So it should be go like this. Interface validation. Let's just that props. And I'm going to use is correct, and it's going to be an optional boolean, and then just pass it here because everything returned by start, every single tag, is actually generic. It does not exist. Come on, it does exist. Yeah, now it compiles. So let me go here and change it to that, and we can pass how did I call it? Is correct. And as you can see, Visual Studio Code is able to pick it up. So that should be validation result. That should work. Okay. So as you can see, it's green. And if I type something that's not correct, this should turn red. Perfect. Wonderful. Good job. But I believe we can add something even better. It would be cool if we could change the border color of our pin inputs based on based on the pin resolution. So I would like that wonderful border. Where is it? Actually, is that it? That's it. To change its color, border color, say red. Work. Oh, that's the one. Border color, change it red if the invalid if the pin is invalid, and turn it green if it's not. And it's gonna be, as you can imagine, similar to what we've done here. So what we need is actually very same prop. There's a small difference though, because we are showing the message based on the resolution, so after the validation, right? But we have to render our borders, our inputs and their borders even before validation. So it actually has three states, like the normal not validated state, the correct state, and not correct, meaning not passing the validation state. So there's another syntax you can use here with side components. And as I mentioned, working on props takes a function that has to return something. Here we use ternary expression, but here actually we just build a function and use something like switch statement. So let's say props is correct. Oh, I have to manually specify that. This goes here, this goes here. Okay, let's work with that. Case true, return green. Case false, return red. And then there's default, right? So for the validation, not true, not false, the undefined one. And that should be that. We can actually even copy that and return that one. Okay, mind that while we're working with colors here, we shouldn't actually specify the how do you call this, cause, right? Are these calls? I don't remember the signs, but while working with the props, you actually have to. Okay. So let's check this now. Let's just reload. 1, 2, 3, 4. Validate. And it doesn't work because I didn't, well, no, it should work, but I didn't pass prop here. So let's see, it's correct. That should be validation result. Okay, now it looks like it's working. Okay, good. Almost perfect. The one problem here that I see is the fact that if we put an input here before, right, we have to manually delete that. Where if we could just like have this highlighted on click, but we can figure out how to do that in the next episode. So I will see you there. Bye bye.